Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new season of Cooking with Chef Aaron. I hope everyone had a great Christmas as well as a great New Year's, and for those of you watching the show who don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you all had a great Hanukkah, a great Kwanzaa, and a great Diwali, and yes, I'm just happy to be back. So, for those of you who have just tuned in and don't know what this show is, Cooking with Chef Aaron explores a variety of foreign cuisine from all around the globe. I explore countries that are in Africa or Asia or Europe or even North America or South America. You're allowed to request any country in the comments down below. Each viewer is only allowed 2 requests. You're not allowed more than 2 requests. So you just have to request a country in the comments. I'll consider it for a future episode. If you want to know what countries I have done and what countries I have not done, you can just go to the linked PDF in the description below, and it'll show you all the countries that have been already been done already, and the countries that are still on hold for requests for options for you. So to start the season off, we are going to be setting foot in the Southeast Asian country of Indonesia, and this country was requested by none other than Laura Christine. Thank you very much for your request. I'd like to give a big shout out to you, and I hope to receive more requests from other people sometime soon. Okay. So I'm going to start my review off by talking about the largest and capital city of Indonesia, which is Jakarta. And this is a pretty beautiful city, and it's a very modern looking city, kind of similar to Astana, Kazakhstan, because as you can see, there's a little cigarette lighter building that's very blue in color, and it's all shiny and futuristic. Though I wouldn't really classify Jakarta as quite as modern looking as Astana, because it's not as well detailed. Like I could show you photos alongside for comparison. But it's a very interesting city because one of the most popular landmarks of Jakarta is the TAMAN Mini, and it looks very similar to Cinderella's castle at DisneyWorld or Disneyland, because as you can see, it's all pink and it's sort of like a recolor, and it just looks like a princess could live in that castle. It's very interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to shift my attention over to the second largest city in Indonesia, which is called Surabaya. And this city's name actually comes from an old Indonesian folktale about 2 animals, Sura being a shark and Baya being a crocodile. Now the story goes something along the lines of Sura was trying to look for food in the sea, and Baya the crocodile was looking for food on the land, and they both were friends, but they were both very greedy when they became hungry. And Sura tried to go to the river to find food for himself, but he thought it was his territory, but Baya got mad and they sort of fought. And afterwards, that's how landmark came into place. As you can see, there's a little statue of Sura and Baya in this city right here, and that's one of the biggest tourist attractions of the city. Okay, now as for the city of Surabaya itself, I feel like it's a very nice city, although it's not as nice as Jakarta, because this city, Surabaya, it looks sort of more westernized. It doesn't really have much of an Asian feel, in my opinion. It kind of looks more like a US city or a Canadian city, because if you look here, you can kind of see just standard buildings, but it's not too bad. I don't think it's too bad. And you do see a little bit of like some Asian landmarks like here and there, and they look very nice as well. It's not a bad city. Okay, so to wrap up my review, I'm going to talk about the rural parts of Indonesia now. And it looks like a combination of both of Asian vegetation and Oceanian vegetation. Most people say that Indonesia lies on the continent of Asia, while others say that it kind of lies between both Asia and Oceania. And you can kind of see that because if you look at these pictures right here, you can kind of see like some Asian rocky tourist attractions here, I guess you could say. And the monuments look pretty nice. They're nice and stony, and they all have a nice look to them. They're all built up, and they all look very cool. And as you can see by these pictures, you can see some nice tropical vegetation, some nice palm trees right here, and I just like the feel of Southeast Asia. Okay, So overall, I would say that I'd probably have to give the country of Indonesia a B. And just a fun fact, Indonesia is just outside my top 50 favorite foreign countries in the world, along with Madagascar. Madagascar ranks 51st place, while Indonesia ranks 52nd place. And without further ado, let's head up to my kitchen, and I'll show you how to make lumpia. Okay, so in order to make the lumpia, Indonesian style, the ingredients you will need are as follows. We have in this bowl over here 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, and in here we have 1 pound of beef, and in this bowl we have half a pound of tofu, and in this bowl we have 1 pound of cabbage, 1 pound of bean sprouts in this bowl, half a can of bamboo shoots in this bowl, and I have 2 eggs which have been whisked, and over here, these are the egg roll wrappers we'll be using, these ones right here. So in this bowl right here, I have 1½ teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and half a teaspoon of granulated garlic. And in this other bowl, I have half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to turn your stove up to about medium or high heat. And in this large pot, what we're going to do is we're going to take our oil and we're going to put it in here, like this. And the first thing you want to do is you want to take both your beef and your tofu, and we're just going to add it to the pot. Same thing with the tofu. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let the beef all brown up, and we want to mix the tofu into the beef as well. And afterwards, we just wait for the tofu to dissolve, and we just wait for all the water to absorb. Okay, so the consistency you want to have for your beef and tofu should look something like this. As you can see, we've reduced the water and now the liquid, and now we want to add our next set of ingredients. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my cabbage, my bean sprouts, and my bamboo shoots, and I'm going to add them all to the mixture, just like this. So that was my cabbage. Here's my bamboo shoots. And here are my bean sprouts. I want to give this all a good mix. Make sure everything is incorporated well. And we also just want to add our seasonings of salt, pepper, and granulated garlic. Okay, so what I just did here was I moved some of the beef up to the top of the pot so that it got incorporated well. So the beef was at the bottom, and I put the veggies on top, and then I just mixed it all around so that there's equal amounts of beef on top as well as on the bottom, as well as some veggies on the top and some veggies on the bottom. Now I just want to give this a good mix, along with the seasonings I just put in. And I'm just going to let this sit for a while, and afterwards we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so as you can see, I've added my second set of seasonings, and I've also transferred everything I just did to a colander. And so now all the liquid is out. And now we're going to start assembling our lumpias using the egg roll wrappers. Okay, so now it is time to assemble our lumpias. So what you're going to do is you're going to take an egg roll wrapper, and you're just going to place it in the center of your cutting board like this, in the shape of a diamond. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a spoonful of the filling that you just made earlier. Make sure that everything is incorporated when you take a spoonful. And you want to place it on one end of your egg roll, so like this. Maybe a little bit more. Just give me a sec. Doesn't this look good? Just want to center it a little bit. Okay, so now that you have your filling on one end of your egg roll, what you want to do is you want to take your brush, and you want to brush some egg yolk on the two sides that are opposite of where you placed your filling. So these are the two opposite ends. I'm brushing my egg yolk right here. Make sure I get a decent amount on the two opposite ends. Look at all the nice colors. Okay, so now you want to fold up the corner of where you placed your filling, like this. And then you want to fold up the two corners that are adjacent to where you just folded up the meat filling. And then you just simply roll it up to the opposite corner. And there you have it, a lumpia. I'm just going to put this on my tray. And you just want to keep repeating this step until your desired amount meets with your needs of how many sprinkles you want to make. Okay, so the final step in this cooking process is you want to take in some cooking oil, and you just want to put an inch all around this pan right here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my lumpias, I'm just going to stick them in the pot, and I'm just going to let them fry. You just want them to heat on both sides, and afterwards we will be done and I'll do a taste test and I'll tell you what I think of it. Okay, so once you've fried your lumpias on both sides, they should look something like this. Don't they look nice? I'm going to do a taste test now and tell you what you think of them. Okay, let's see what I think of this. Here we go. These taste really good. I love the crunchiness to the egg rolls. You can also taste a little bit of beef, and the veggies are nice and cooked as well. This is delicious. So this is the finished product served on your plate, served with some plum sauce. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.